Hey, Billy. Hey, Chris. Oh, that was tart. Chuck. How you doing? Hi, Ryan. What's up? How you been, Ryan? I've been wanting to call you. I just haven't had literally time because you know how it is when we get on the phone. Hey, Sid. We end up talking like for 17 hours. Hey, Mark. Hi, Denise. What is with all these messages? I swear, I keep leaning off to the side and I'm going to be like half out of the screen. I'm tired, you guys. Really, really tired. Hey, Josh. Okay, maybe I'll give you a call on Sunday or Monday because I'm home all weekend. I'm not going anywhere. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything. Well, I can't say I'm not doing anything. I'm going to try to finish my hot wire fences. And now I have a tree to get rid of. But I think my son's going to come do that next week. Hi, Kathy. Oh, see, he heard me on the live. He heard me talking and has to come say hello to everybody. Hello, Todd. Yeah, hi. I was just talking to my daughter and I told her every single time I get on a live, he's got to say hi. Actually, here, I'll invite her and see if she comes on to see. Hold on. Let's do the invite. Hi, Todd. Hi. What's up? What's up? Hi, Todd. What are you doing? Why won't it let me share? It's not letting me share. Hi. What's up? Hi. Hi. It won't let me share. Why is it once I go on? Sully. Please stop, buddy. Yes, I hear you. So loud. I don't want anybody on. That's not what I want. Where's my... Why is my share button gone? Oh, here we go. Invites. Nope, that's not what I want either. Oh, well. Hi. Hi, Todd. Todd is famous now. Hey, Chris. Yeah, we're doing that tonight. I can see. Hi. Oh, we're doing both sides tonight, you guys. Both sides tonight. Hi. What's up? You're being ridiculous tonight. Hi. Oh. I know. Oh, here we go. Hi. Hi. This is the first time I've sat down all night, so they've decided that it's loving time. Everybody wants love from mommy. Yes, I know. I know. I need another one, right? Like I need a hole in my head. I literally run out of this house trying to figure everything out already. Nope, you're not going up on the back of the couch. Sorry. I know, I'm just awful. Yeah. Hey, Buck. You guys don't see me drinking an energy drink tonight, so. Really, that's mine. Nope, that's mine. Ouch. Oh, you guys. Hi. Hi. Yes. Cat hair everywhere. I even that was a flop. Are you comfy now? Can you guys hear him purring? How loud he's purring? It's kind of insane. He's loud tonight. Hi. You're so happy right now. Yeah. You guys can see how long he is. Like he goes from one shoulder all the way across to the other, and he's wrapped around. Yes, I know they're bad for me. No one needs to scold me over it. I know they're bad for me. Thank you, Willie. Cooper's on the other couch. And Sully's on his... No, Sully's not on his bed. Yeah, Willie would rather do it. He wants to... That's what he's wanting to do, is climb up there. But only one can be up there. And Todd's a lot lighter than Willie is. He's really not. He just feels a lot lighter. Willie is dead weight. Oh, hello. Why are you licking my hand, buddy? Hey, Ron. Yeah, Willie is 24 pounds. And Todd is probably close to 20. I think he's like 17. Yeah, I don't have anything around this house small. You guys, this morning, I had to lock the horses in just their small pasture and then the one side pasture, which they don't like as well, because I had a tree fall in the other one and take out my fence. And so because it took out the fence, I don't want to risk the horses getting out. So I won't let them out there unless I'm home. I don't think they can get out. They'd have to climb over this tree branch, and it's like a 40-foot tree branch. So they'd have to get over that and push through where the fence is blocked. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching Whiskey this morning as I go out to feed. He's mad because I fed him at 6:30, mind you, instead of 6 a.m. And so he is quite mad at me. And he is just out there bucking and spinning in place. Now, this horse is 17 hands. And for those of you who don't know what a hand is, do the math. 17 times 4, because every hand is 4 inches. So we're talking almost 6 foot tall at his back. And he is bucking like a colt, like a baby, spinning around in circles, rearing up, walking on his hind leg. I know, right? Walking on his hind legs. And then when I go out there to him, he starts doing it in front of me, popping up like he's going to rear up. And I just looked at him and I'm like, get down to your spot. So he immediately trots down to the end of the arena and stands there and waits for me. It was like, you know how when you see those videos of kids dancing for their food because they're all excited about eating? That's basically what he was doing. It was really funny. And I almost caught a video of him throwing his bucket around. I almost caught it. I didn't get it. It was right at the tail end of him kicking it around the arena. Hey, Greg. We're going to pray in pretty quick here, guys. I got hair, dog hair, and cat hair all over me. Hey, Marcy. Yeah, poor thing. He's actually, because he hasn't been ridden in 5 days, I see he's getting fat. He's getting a little chunk on him. Not a lot. Not a lot at all. He actually looks really good right now. Oh. Yeah. Well, that's why I laugh when you say my horses are all fat and sassy. I'm like, yeah, here's fat and here's sassy. Gypsy's fat, Whiskey sassy. Willie's fat, Cooper sassy. I think Kathy's got all the thumbs tonight, Mark. She's going to beat you to it. I am dying of thirst today, you guys. I had training this morning. I had to go to work an hour early. Right? Nope. Nope. All right, guys, let's go ahead and pray in. And then we'll get started with tonight. It's not going to be what I thought it was going to be tonight, but I'll tell you guys why. But hey, David. Marie. I love that name. That's what everybody kept saying that my middle name should be, is Marie. And I've never had it, but my sister's always called me that. Tina Marie. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Johnny. One of my favorite songs growing up. That was always one of my favorite songs growing up. My dad used to listen to so much 50s music. And that was always one of my favorite songs in the 50s and 60s. Hey, Mario. Boy, now everybody wants to come on. All right, let's pray in, and then we'll get going. Like I said, it's going to be different than what I planned because there's reasons, but I'll let you guys know. But I think there's a reason for it. Anyway. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for us coming together tonight. Lord, we thank you for your word. And Father, we thank you for the way that you will meet us in our messiness. And those days when we just feel like we're ready to throw in the towel, Lord, I just praise you for that. I thank you for the way that you will allow us to be ugly and dirty and messy and shameful, and that you will take all of that on yourself, and that you will wash us clean, and that you will heal our wounds, and then you will set us on a pedestal as your children. And tonight, I just pray that what we talk about tonight is of you, that your spirit is poured out on this live, and that you will protect us and give us wisdom and guidance for one another, that we will seek your face in all things, and that we will see you moving in our lives, and your hands touching our lives. And we pray these things in the name of your son, Jesus. Amen. Okay, so I had already planned on, like, I've got the verses for the message that I was going to do tonight. I've got everything started, and then life went sideways. I'm just going to leave it at that. I've talked to several of you this week about how my life went sideways this week, but my life kind of went sideways. And it wasn't any one particular thing that happened. It was emotional. It was spiritual. There was some physical. It wasn't my health, but literally you guys know that Monday night I said, pray for me because I need to keep my mouth shut. And I ended up having to really process something emotional on Monday night and Tuesday morning. Well, then Tuesday morning I get to work as I'm dealing with this emotional turmoil thing and really trying to trust my dad in it and trust my father in this and how he's working in this and how he wants to work in me, and got some good advice from some great friends. But at the same time, it was still learning to process and deal with this with him and let him work in my heart in this, and get to work. And no more get to work, and I get a message from one of my neighbors who says, I think you need to come home. There's a fire behind our houses. I had just gone and gotten a trailer load full of hay. So for the first time all summer, I decided that I was safe enough to go get 22 bales of hay in my horse trailer, load it up, and that I would spend this weekend unloading it because it's a holiday weekend. I have plenty of time. I don't have to rush and do it. We'd be fine for one more week, except we weren't. So I have to leave work, rush home, throw 22 bales of hay out of my trailer in case I have to evacuate and load up my horses and my animals. So I get all of this hay out, and I happen to look up and realize it's about to rain. And I don't mean just rain a little bit, I mean pour. And for those of you who don't realize it, hay and rain is a very bad thing because horses can't eat moldy hay like cattle can. I mean, it's not ideal, but they can. Horses cannot eat it, and I would have ended up with every single bale lost. So I'm throwing these 22 bales of hay into my shed, hoping they're all going to fit and that I can get them. And I'm unloading these bales of hay 5 high. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen a bale of hay, but they're what, Ryan? About 2 feet high for the square bales? 1.5 feet. And I'm flipping these things end over end. They're probably, what, about 2 foot by 4 foot? And I'm flipping these things end over end up a makeshift ladder of bales of hay so that I can get them up 5 high over my head. They're not light. They're anywhere between 50 and 80 pounds a piece. So I'm trying to do this as quickly as I possibly can so I don't get them in the rain. Get that done. I'm scratched all the you know what. Okay. Get these all loaded in there, and immediately it starts to rain. Now, when I had got home, I left my gate open in case we had to rush out because there was, hey Manny, there was smoke. So I left the gate open so that we could get out in a hurry if we had to. And lo and behold, Sully got out. Now it's pouring rain. I mean, opened up the skies, buckets pouring down, hail in August in California with a fire going. And now I'm out in this hail looking for my dog. Hey, Jody. And I'm thinking, really? Could this be any better? Like, I'm still trying to deal with the emotional aspects too and not get overly emotional about the dog now missing. So I go looking for the dog. Luckily, he's too fat and too lazy at this point now that he's fixed. He didn't get very far and came immediately when I called. He did go back home. He just walked instead of running. Okay, fine. So now, hey, he is soaking wet, going back in my house. I am going back in my house. There's still no word about this fire. We still don't know if it's close. Nobody's telling where it is. There's nothing updating us on how fast it's moving or which direction it's moving right now. So I don't know anything about the fire. Luckily, my hay is fine, but I could just be putting it in there to get it burned in 5 minutes. My son is calling me, asking me if I need him to come up here and get me. I am all emotional from this other thing that comes up, and I finally get the update almost 2 hours, 3 hours later that the fire is only 3/4 of an acre and it's in smoldering grass and they've almost got it out. So now I've missed several hours of work for nothing. Go back to work. Come back home. After work, I work my 6 hours that's left. I come back home, and as I'm driving up, I'm on the phone talking to someone, and I say, "What is that?" And she says, "I don't know. What are you talking about?" I have a giant oak tree in the pasture with my horses, and they love to stand under this oak tree. There had been a rope swing on this oak tree. It's a beautiful black oak, probably 250 years old. As I pull into my driveway, what I see instead of my beautiful black oak is I see one branch about 40 feet long has come down on my horse fence for their pasture, right where they typically stand. Luckily, the horses are fine. The fence, not so much. So my horse pasture fence is crushed. Mostly the brunt was taken by the board across the top of it. I can salvage the fence, I can fix it all, but I can't even trim the tree branch that's 40 feet long because my chainsaw needs to be serviced. So now I gotta wait for my chainsaw to be serviced to open up the pasture again for my horses. And it was an entire week of this. Moment after moment after moment after moment. And instead of processing this with God and saying, "Lord, I'm leaving all of this at your feet," what I did was get in my feelings and say, let it all burn. The rest of my life has burned down too, and get extremely overdramatic. And don't we always? Instead of trusting that, instead of looking at it as everything lovely that he saved and protected and, was helping with. So instead of that tree branch coming down on one of my horses and killing them, they were fine. Instead of my horses getting out, they stayed in their pasture and the tree branch blocked them from getting out. Instead of me losing all of my food when my power outage happened last week, I had nothing lost. Because inside my house, it was hot, but I was able to keep it cool enough that I didn't even have anything unthawed. God blessed me in so many ways, but all I did was focus on what was wrong. And we do it so easily and often. And so I think tonight it was just a moment for us to really, because you guys, I did a video today. This month has been hard. And I know I'm not the only one. I've talked to person after person after person. The enemy has had us spinning out of control. He has had us just reaching for things that we haven't reached for in years or months. That we are doing things that we don't typically do. We are relying on things we don't typically rely on. And we're forgetting the importance of that self-discipline that we've learned all along. So we're all kind of going through these Job-like moments. But what God keeps telling me over the last couple of weeks especially is the flood is here. The flood is coming. And I'm like, floods aren't good things, Lord. And he's like, this one is. And what he's talking about is the flood of his blessings. So the flood is coming. And of course the enemy is going to hit us with both barrels right beforehand. Because if he can get us to turn away from it, if he can get us to walk away from it, if he can get us to stop looking at God for it, then we don't have to get it. And the funniest part was, I was like, Lord, I don't see a flood. I don't see a flood coming. All I see is bad things. I don't see any flood coming. And that day on my phone, I get a message. Now, the day that it rained a lot. Don't get me wrong. That rain came down, hail, full on buckets, just pouring sheets of rain. But it only did that for 20 minutes. Not enough to flood anything, not even flash flood anything. But I look at my phone and my phone says flood warning. What? And I was like, Lord. And he's like, I told you, the flood is here. And so I had to laugh because it was so obviously God in that it was just ridiculous. And well, that's a first. It was so miraculously God reminding me that we all blocked. It's okay, guys. It was so miraculously God reminding me that I said what I said. And then I was going through part of my emotional situation was I was mad because everything I thought God had promised me, I'm not seeing. And one of the things he promised me was that he was going to take care of a situation and that vengeance was going to be his. And I don't have to worry about how things look. And I keep saying, no, people are getting away with things that are wrong. What these people are doing is wrong and they keep getting away with it. Even more, they're almost being blessed through it. Things just keep happening better and better for them, it seems like. Why do they keep getting better and better? And Proverbs tells us the way of the wicked, doesn't always, rain falls on the just and the unjust. In other words, good happens to bad people too. And we don't like to see that. And I'm like, this is not what you said to expect. Why am I seeing all of the, why don't I see what's going to happen? Why don't I see the fairness in this? Why don't I see the justice in this? And then last night I got a phone call. And in that phone, I've gotten a lot of phone calls this week. And last night in this phone call, it was unusual for this person to call me. And in this phone call, I got an update on a situation. And in that situation, it was very clearly God reminding me of, oh, it's happening. Like you think everything is going good on that end of this, and it's not. This is what's happening. And laid out like this whole downfall that's happening. And I realized this morning that I didn't think it was, because I didn't see it. Because he had plucked me out of that situation far enough. In other words, he was telling me, it's not your business to see it. You want to leave it with me and let me handle it, then leave it with me and let me handle it. You don't need to know. It's above your pay grade. And so today, or last night, he very clearly reminded me that, oh, I'm working. You just didn't know it because you didn't see it, because I didn't tell you, because I didn't need to tell you. I'm on a need to know basis, and I didn't need to know, but I thought I needed to know. And so I wanted to know, but I was basing what I knew of God and how fair God is and who he was and how I felt in that moment on what I saw. And he's reminding me, you don't need to see anything. So I guess I just want to remind you guys that, yeah, exactly, Ryan. I didn't realize, I was looking at this situation from my current situation because I wasn't involved in it anymore, and realized it's a lot worse on the other end than I thought it was. And God is working out his plan on the other end where I didn't see it. And I need to remember that just because I don't see something doesn't mean it's not happening. Just because I don't see something doesn't mean he's not working. And that goes for the good and the bad. Like, there's promises he's given me for good, and I'm not seeing them happen, and so I've decided that they're not happening. But then there's promises he's made, I don't want to say for bad, but he's made to uphold and defend himself, and that I don't need to defend him. And I'm watching him work those out on his own, and I didn't see it, so I didn't think he was doing it. So what we think is fair, one of the things he's reminding me of this week is I don't get to decide what's fair. I don't get to decide what punishment somebody gets. I don't get to decide when they've received that punishment or haven't received that punishment, or when it's fair and just for me, because I'm not the judge. I'm not the jury. I'm not the sentencer. And I wanted to be. And I had to admit that with God, was that I wanted to be judge, jury, and sentencing on people. And it was hard for me to admit that to him. It was emotional for me to admit that to him, because I don't want to be that person anymore. And so I have to let that go. I have to, because the simple fact is, and I know I've talked about this with some of you guys already this week, but the simple fact is, as long as we are still holding on to feeling like we need to see them suffer, we need to see the vengeance of God, we need to see the justice of God, as long as we're holding on to that, we're still shackled to that situation. We're still tethered to it. And one of the things God reminded me of is, you haven't let this go, so I can't met out my justice on this, because it's going to spill over on you. And I don't want it to spill over on you, so I can't give them what they deserve, because you still have your hands in the mix. And you're going to get hit with it if I do. So he's actually he's not doing the thing that he wants to do because I'm still too close to it, that I'm going to get burned by the overflow. The lava is going to hit me because I'm still too close to the volcano, because I won't leave it. And that was very eye-opening, for sure, to realize that I still have that in me, for one, and that the enemy can use my flesh that easily, for two. You know, so I don't know where you guys are this week. I mean, you tell me. Are you guys in the same boat? Are you guys like struggling? Are you having weird things happening where it's very much like a Job-like season, but you can also see God's hand at work in it? Good. Because this is not my notes. This is not what we were going to talk about tonight. You guys, we were literally going to talk about the woman at the well and different miracles that Jesus did. And I have like 6 pages of scriptures on here. And he was like, not tonight. So Monday and Thursday next week we'll do it. But I think this is just, it's one of those situations where we know God is still working. Like we know it, we feel him, he's not distant. It's not even that he's not talking. It's just, we feel the struggle. We're really feeling the struggle. And you guys, what he keeps reminding me is there has to be, I can't take you to your breakthrough until, okay, so one of the things he reminded me of this morning as I was sitting there telling him how sorry I am that I'm still this way, that I still have these things in me. And he reminded me that you don't do surgery when you're awake. That sometimes he has to, when he tells us to be still and let him work, it's like trying to pull out that really deep sliver. If we're so busy thrashing and fighting him, he can't get it and we're going to get hurt. So he will have us sit still, even though we don't want to sit still. Like we're still fighting him. And I told you guys for weeks now, I've been wrestling with him over a situation, and he allows us to wrestle until we exhaust ourselves. It's kind of like a toddler throwing a fit until they're so exhausted, they just fall asleep, and then he can put you down for a nap. But half the time when a toddler throws a fit like that, it's just because they're tired. And their parent knows exactly what they need. Hey, guys. Can we stop? Their parent knows exactly what they need in that moment that they tell them to take a nap, because they know they're going to get to that point of being overtired and cranky and throwing a hissy fit and hurting themselves. So you kind of have to let them throw a fit until they tire themselves out and fall asleep. And that's kind of where God's had me, is he let me throw a fit about different things until I recognized I was too tired to throw a fit anymore. There was nothing else I could do. And so I finally settled down, and he's like, now I can talk to you. And he was silent the whole time I was throwing a fit, the whole time I'm wrestling with him. But you got to remember, it's okay to wrestle with God, because as long as you're wrestling with him, you're in close proximity with him. It's when you walk away from the wrestling match that he has a problem and he's going to grab you back. But I wrestled with him until I grew too tired, and he was like, all right, now I'll talk to you. Now I'm going to tell you what's going on. And once I finally settled down and calmed down, he was able to dig out some of the deepest roots of bitterness and unforgiveness that I didn't even realize I still had in me. Like, I thought I was past this. I thought I was over this. I thought it was gone and done and over with. And he's like, I know you did. And now I'm going to drive something so close to home. I'm going to drive that scalpel so close to the wound that it's going to hurt. And it's going to hurt bad. But I need it to hurt for us to be able to get all of this infection out. Because that's really what sin is in us, is it's infection. And he had to pull the rest of that infection out of me. Hey, Janny. In order for him to be able to really cleanse that wound. And that's one of the things he was reminding me of this morning is, I was like, why do I suddenly feel fine? Why do I suddenly feel like everything's okay? Hey, Kristen, why do I suddenly feel like it's all okay and clean? Shh. Guys, it's a cat. I think I'm going to start closing the blinds at night. Sully, stop. Hey. Cooper, you don't need to antagonize anything. Hey. And I suddenly felt like everything was washed clean. Like, Cooper, get over here. Like the wound was excised and completely cleaned away. Don't, Cooper. Cooper, lay down. He doesn't need you instigating anything. He barks loud enough all on his own without your help. Sully, quit. So now, I mean, and it was weird because what would have taken me a month to get over, 2 years ago, and then would have taken me, a week to get over even 6 months ago, took me 2 days to get over. Eventually, I'll recognize it sooner, and it'll take me an hour, to get over it. But, and it won't take me 7 or 8 friends to help talk me down. But at least this time it's godly friends. It's good friends with good advice, and praying over me. And literally, you guys, for God to show me how incredibly he will use everyone, he had, like, I haven't talked to Mario since the live that he did on here. And he reached out to me yesterday and said, God put you on my heart. I started praying for you. And the word that came to mind was this. And so I'm praying this for you. And just left me a text message about that. I haven't talked to him in 2 weeks at all. Not even text messaging. There was no way he could have possibly known to pray for the exact same thing that I had just prayed for that morning. I had literally just written it in my journal that morning, exactly what he told me on this thing that he was praying for me. And it was just such a sweet thing for him to do and such an obedient thing for him to do. But God will place people. He has removed every friend that I had in my old life to put friends into my life like that, who will reach out and hear God enough that they'll be obedient enough to reach out to somebody and just say, I don't know why you're on my mind. I don't know why God wants me to pray for this for you, but I'm going to pray for this for you, and just know that he's got you. Who are going to reach out and speak life over you when you're saying, I'm going to let my whole life just burn down. Everything's already burned down anyway. When you're feeling sorry and having a pity party, that God is going to bring people into your life to be like, no, I'm not going to let you do that. Pull your head out of your rear end and remember who is there for you. Hey, Ron. Remember who has you and who you are. And so these people praying for me helped me get through something that would have taken me weeks before. And it took me a day and a half. And I mean, on top of that, I kept having battle after battle after battle thrown at me. So really, it probably, if it would have just been the one thing, it would have only taken me 12 hours. So let them in. You know, that's the point of God bringing people in our lives, is for us to let them in. And he reminded me of that, you know, that I've had several people reach out to me recently that normally don't reach out to me, that sent me messages. And I've watched God work in ways in people who don't even claim to know him. And God is using them, very clearly using them. Like when I tell them, you know, I start telling them about Jesus, and I'm like, you need to pray for, you know, your situation. You really need to ask God to step into this situation. And they're like, I'm definitely going to. Like, to take an atheist to that in one conversation floored me. Tells me God's working. And it reminds me that if God can do that in that person who is so adamantly opposed to him, then anything I need in any of my situations is pretty small. You guys, we forget how big God really is. Like, how big he really is. To take, you know, a fire behind my house and be like, plunk, it's done. To hold the enemy at bay like that. To take this tree branch and be like, yeah, no, it's not going to fall this way. It's going to fall straight down. And here's the kicker. Most of it broke before it even hit the ground. So I have one big part of the tree branch that still needs to be cut, but most of it I was able to move on my own without cutting anything. Hey, Chelsea. So I don't know, like I said, I don't know where some of you guys are at this week. I don't know what you're going through this week. Right? It's been one of those months. It's been one of those months where it's so hard sometimes to stay focused. I know one of the things I told him was, or what he told me was, stop focusing on the one down tree, the one thing you don't have, the one thing that you want more than anything and you don't have yet. Stop focusing on what you don't have and start looking at the things that you do. Start looking at the blessings that you have and stop focusing on that thing. Actually, I said, speaking of down trees, what are we going to do about that? But don't. It's stop being Lot's wife. Stop looking backward. Stop letting things hold on to you. Stop letting the bitterness, the regret, the hard things that you have to do, the trials that you're going through, stop holding those things and letting those things be that ankle brace that locks you in and doesn't let you move forward. Because he's been saying for a long time that we need to move forward. We need to keep walking forward, keep walking forward, keep moving forward. But what's happening is we're like an elephant on the chain, is that we can break that chain anytime we want to. But for some reason, the enemy has us convinced that we can't break that chain, that we're stuck here, that we're not going to get past this. And we believe that God can, we just don't believe that God will. We know he can. We see him work. We believe him for everyone else, but maybe not for us. Maybe not for this thing. Yeah, exactly. I've been on the enemy's house arrest. And he reminded me that as long as I'm feeling this way, this is where I stay. Like, if this is all you believe me for, you're tying God's hands when you only believe him so far. When you only believe him to a certain extent. Because what you're saying when you do that is, when the enemy is telling you, did God really say that? Do you really believe God for that? Do you really think he's going to do that for you? Do you really think you're good enough for that? Do you really think that you can do these things? When we believe the enemy saying that, and we start believing our own mind and letting him control our mind that way, then what we're doing is we are putting that shackle on ourselves and saying that the enemy is bigger than God. Which is not true. And we know it's not true, but we don't believe it's not true. That's the difference between faith and fear. Because when we stand still, when we stand there and the thing is, you guys, we are putting this handcuff on ourselves, and it's not hooked to anything. Like, the enemy doesn't even have to pretend like he's got us handcuffed to anything. He doesn't. We just do it. We just stand there with one handcuff on and act like we're stuck. Like, it's not attached to anything. But we're like, I can't go anywhere. I'm cuffed here. I'm stuck. No, we're really not. You know, I used to think that, and I know that the enemy has been like really trying to drive that message home to a lot of people right now, because you're not the only one who said that, is that I missed something, or I did something wrong that messed it up, or I delayed it, or I did, except for, here's the thing, you are not big enough to mess up God's plan. I mean, bigger saints than you, more important saints than you have done things wrong. Look at Abraham having a baby with Sarah's maidservant, with Hagar. That messed things up, but it still didn't mess up the grand scheme of things. So for us to think that God is not big enough to account for our mess ups, our mistakes, our straying off of the path, us disobeying him, if he could account for millions of Israelites sinning and ignoring him and having to put them into exile in Babylon, don't you think he could figure out your mess up? And it's really, and I mean, I'm not judging anybody for saying that, because I do it too. And I'm like, I must have missed it. God is not going to let you miss it. Here's the thing. He told me, this was, how many months ago was that, Manny, when I was going to those courses? It was May? I think it was in May. And I'm driving down the road, and he had told me, watch for this sign. Watch for this sign. And I'm like, it's not even the season for that sign, Lord. That's not going to happen. He's like, watch for this. And I'm like, well, is it going to be like this? Or is it going to be something different? Is it going to be on TV? Maybe I'll see it, because I won't see it in person, because it's not the right season for that. And that doesn't even happen around here. He's like, watch for this sign. And he kept reiterating what the sign was to me. And I never spoke it out loud, because I didn't want the enemy to even hear it. I didn't want anything but it in my mind to know what sign I was looking for. Because the enemy can't read my mind. And if I don't react and I don't speak it out and I don't write it down, what God is telling me to watch for, nobody would ever know. I didn't tell anybody. And lo and behold, after 3 or 4 months of watching for this sign, I was talking to Manny on the phone. And I get stuck in traffic, and he had told me over and over, I'm like, well, what if it's this way? What if it's this way? He's like, I won't let you miss it. I will never let you miss my will for you. And I'm like, all right, but I might miss it. And he's like, you're not going to miss it. I'll make sure you don't miss it. So at the time, I'm parked, I get stopped in traffic, and the traffic is just standstill. We're waiting for the car. You know how they'll like lead you through? So we're waiting for that car to lead us through, and I'm just in stop traffic, and I'm listening to Manny, and he's venting to me about something. I think it was you venting or me venting about one of the boys. I don't remember. We were talking on the phone. And all of a sudden, I went, oh my God, you did it. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, the sign. He's like, what? I said, the sign. He's like, what sign are you talking about? I'm like, the sign. Like the sign he's been telling me to watch for. That I never even told you what it was. That sign. That one sign that I've been watching for months. I just saw it. And you guys, when I tell you God made so sure that I didn't miss it, the thing that it was moved in slow motion. It was almost cartoonish how slow it moved in front of me. Past me, and then turned around and came back toward me. It was ridiculously obvious. And it was like God literally held a sign that said, hey, stupid, this is it. This is what I was talking about. And have I seen the thing come to pass that it was a sign of? No. No, I haven't. But at the same time, I don't doubt because I saw the sign. I mean, I don't doubt that this was the sign I was supposed to watch for. When it happens, okay, whatever. I've doubted that at times. But the fact that I saw the sign, and I know Manny's had the same situation where God would tell him, watch for this thing, and then all of a sudden it came in such a weird way, but it was so incredibly obvious that he just slaps you in the face with it almost. Like, hello, neon flashing red lights right here. Pay attention to this. And he's not going to let you miss it. You're not going to mess it up because you're not big enough to mess up God's plan. Like he's already accounted for who you are, the choices you make, and your mess ups. Yes, you have free will, but he already knows what your free will is going to choose. So he's already accounted for that. And once I realized that, you learn to like kind of chill on the I'm going to mess it up or I'm going to miss it. You learn to realize that I'm not that big. And even if I were, God's got this figured out. Yeah, he definitely you guys have heard me say it 100 times. God is a drama queen. He loves the drama of it. And he will just do it in a way that you can't even imagine. That's what I was telling this atheist last night is start praying. Because you're going to watch that you can't do anything about this situation and God's going to fix it like that. In a way you never imagined, in a way you don't have to lift your hand, in a way that you look at that and think, holy crap. He seriously just did that. What's that, Manny? You're going to hold me to what? Which one? What did I say? What did I say that I just got myself locked into? I don't know what I said. Hey, Phil. I'm going to try to chill. I said I was chill about me messing it up. That part of it I'm chill about. I'm chill about knowing that I don't have control over it, of messing it up and making it stop. Yeah. You heard nothing. You heard nothing, sir. By the way, the girls all said, tell him we said hi. You guys, Manny's getting quite the fan club because he's great at advice. He's great at being practical. He reminds people to look at the big picture. Don't. Manny, what's the 5 for? Or is that just an S? I can't tell. Yeah. Yeah, Manny's going to get his own fan club. He has no clue. They're going to follow you on TikTok. So what's it for? Hi, Erica. You changed it. That wasn't your screen name on here before. Oh, you just did it that way. That's like Superman. Like, yeah, pretty much. Superman. Manny Superman. Not your favorite superhero, though, huh? You did say you liked the movie, though. So where are you guys at? What do you guys need prayer for? Superman. Hey, Dusty. Your advice? Okay, so here's the thing. Manny's advice is fantastic. And it's brutal at the same time. It's brutally honest. It's brutally right. And it does ruffle feathers at times. And sometimes, like, you have to be able to hear the truth. Yeah. You have to be able to, like, Manny is not going to, we were talking about this last night. He's not going to sugarcoat it for you. He really isn't. Like, he is going to Paul this thing for you. He is going to tell you the truth in love, but it's going to start with truth. Like, whether you like it or not, it's going to be, hey, this is the facts. Yeah. I mean, he's not going to be deliberately hurtful. But I'm telling you guys, Manny's great advice. Manny's going to get like 35, right? Yeah, trust me. I'm telling you guys, if you get advice from Jennifer and Manny, you better be wearing armor because you're going to take a beating. You're going to take a beating. It's great advice. And it will not let you have a pity party. That's for darn sure. But that's right. And the thing is, pity parties aren't going to help you. I mean, it's okay to have a pity party for a moment. You can feel your feelings, feel the validity of your feelings, but hop right out of that pity party. Because pity parties aren't going to solve your problems. And the problem is, pity parties are going to create only 30? Can I have at least 60? I get 30 from you and 30 from Jennifer. See? You guys see what I mean? It is. It is. Yeah. Well, it's 30 because I'm a woman. It's 15 if you're a man. But you guys, I'm telling you, this is part of what helps you get out of it in a day and a half versus a week, 2 weeks, a month. It keeps you from like wallowing in your flesh and the old you, absolutely out of love. And that's what I mean, because if you have friends that are going to allow you to soak in your pity party like a spa, all you're going to do is become a victim, and the enemy is going to get a foothold. If you do 30 seconds or a minute, or what did we say last time, Jennifer? You get 2 minutes, set a timer. And you do that, and you think of all the bad things and all the what ifs and all the whatever, and then you're like, okay, that's done now. You better do it fast. In order to get it all out, you can have a 2-minute pity party, and once it's done, it's done. No more. That's it. Because that way you turn back to what is true, what is noble, what is good. Because once you get back to those things, it puts God back in the driver's seat. It puts everything back into his perspective. Hey, Brett. And the problem is we let the enemy give us perspective instead of God giving us perspective. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, sometimes it's just about One of the things that God told me this week was, because I was like, how do I let this go? How do I just let this go? Because, I mean, besides sitting there and thinking, why do I feel this way? Because I needed to really ask myself, why am I feeling this way? If I'm thinking, A, B, and C about this situation, and it's not a situation that can hurt me. It's not a situation I want to go back to. It's not a situation that I need to focus on. So why do I have all of these anxious, worried, troublesome feelings, these emotions rising up in me? And I had to stop and really sit and think, why? What is this really about? And I realized a lot of it had to do with, I wanted justice. I wanted fairness. I wanted to see the justice and the fairness. And I wanted to be able to check it off of my box that what happened to me was validated. What happened to me was made fair. And God reminded me, that's not your job. That's not your job. That's not your decision. That's not in your control. I wanted my pound of flesh. I wanted my pound of flesh, and I didn't want to take it. I wanted to see it taken. And there's a big difference between that. I wanted to control God's version of justice. I didn't want to do it, but I didn't want him not to do it. And I wanted to know that he did it, because if he didn't do it, then that meant he didn't love me enough to take care of it. And he's like, that's not true. Who told you that? Who told you that you get to decide when it happens? Who told you whether it's happening or not? You don't know. You don't know what's happening, and you don't get to know. And then once I finally let it go, he's like, now I'll tell you what's happening. Because he did. As soon as I let it go, and I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm so sorry. I repented. I prayed over it. Lord, take this away. I want to release this. I want this shackle off of me. How do I do this? What does this look like practically? And he gave me those answers that I needed very clearly. And as soon as I did those things, which was really just let go. Let go. That's really what it comes down to. Let go. Let go of control. Let go of trying to control God. Let go of what you think you need. Let go and believe that he really knows what you need. And so once I did that, he's like, okay, now I'll show you what's going on. Hey, Phil. What's up? I haven't seen you in a while. I mean, I know you've been on, but we haven't been on at the same time. We're just talking about how rough of a month this has been. You've been busy. You've been a busy guy. You've been all over the place lately. Shh. It's funny. I was going to actually reach out to you, and I saw one of your posts about how your live stream is not church. And I was going to reach out to you about that and us talk about it on a live. The difference between church and people like this. Is it church? Is it not church? What makes it church? What doesn't make it church? Oh, are you coming to the West Coast? Where are you coming on the West Coast? Go lay down. Go lay down. When are you coming to the West Coast? Yeah, you've been traveling a lot. Go lay down. You're breathing heavy. Where in California? I'm assuming LA area. Go breathe heavy somewhere else. Well, I mean, it's the big area. Where in LA though? LA proper or around surrounding LA? Yeah, depends on what you want to do. I mean, you're basically going into the pit of hell right there. So that, or you could go to San Francisco. Those would be close to the two pits of hell. I mean, you're like walking right into Demon Central there. That's why I say it just depends on what you want to do. Well, my daughter lives there, so I mean, I've grown up in California, been to I grew up in the Valley of California, so I've been both, and Northern California, but depends. That's why I say it depends on what you want to do. If you want revival, if you're looking for revival, I mean, yeah, there's more people there, but you're also going to catch, like I said, you're walking into the pits of hell. If you really want revival, travel up and down the valley and into the mountain areas and the farming areas, and you're going to see so many people on fire. It's not funny. That would be great. But any of the big cities, yeah. But you go to the outskirts of the big cities, like in between them. Yeah. Oh, nice. Nice. Oh. Got to do that validation thing. Yeah. There's a few down there, but it's such a big area, so it just depends on where. It's like I was talking to my daughter today, and I'm like, yeah, but do you live in the San Fernando Valley? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, no, but I mean like the San Fernando Valley. She's like, yes. I'm like, but in the valley. She's like, yes. How many times I got to tell you yes? It's a big valley, Mom. I mean, she's like 4.5 hours from me. I haven't even been down to her new house. It's a big place. LA is like an idea of an area. You know, it's kind of like if you say, I'm trying to think of one I could relate it to. Like if you said Atlanta. Atlanta's a really big city with a really wide area. Now imagine like 5 Atlanta. Or New York. Like if you're talking about New York City, how there's so many different areas that are encompassed in New York City. But it's basically like, what are they, boroughs? Is that what they call them? We don't call them boroughs here. Yeah. Now imagine like 25. Yeah. Because you've got all of Southern California is usually encompassed in LA. And they've got all these different, you've got Universal City, you've got Studio City, you've got, Hollywood. And all of those are within LA, but like they're encompassed in the idea of LA. It's just not the same city, but they're right next to each other. You've got Hollywood West, you've got Hollywood, or West Hollywood. And they don't call it anything the way it is down there. It's Soho. WeHo. I'm like, where are we talking about now? Long Island, right? Yeah, I didn't say I like it. Oh, that's hot. That's hot. I've never been to 29 Palms. It's too hot for me down there. Like, it hit 100 here this week, and I was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. Of course, I also lost power at 100, so. Well, there's golf courses, and there's, hey, watch out, please. There's golf courses and hotels. That's about all that's in 29 Palms. And there's the military training base, because that's where my son used to go all the time for his training. He's down to 29 Palms. There's tarantulas. There's lots of tarantulas and scorpions down there. I mean, I get tarantula. Oh, we had a scorpion at work the other day. I've never seen one before. Hey, Jim, don't hit the thing, please. No. Okay, guys, that was the dog, not me, just so you know. That was not me. All right, guys, so you tell me what you guys need prayer for. Because, like I said, it's been, hey. Okay, we'll talk to you soon. You guys tell me what you need prayer for. What you're going through this week. Or the last month. Because I know I'm not the only one. I know God well enough at this point to know he draws people in based off of what they're going through. You know, common situations. Sully, you are going to knock this over. And then I'm going to get upset. He's side-eyeing me, guys. No. Do you need to go outside? Is that the problem? Do you want to go outside? Apparently that's the problem. Okay, let's let him out. You can go out the back. You can go out the back. It's fine. Right? He needs the mom look. Cooper, stay here. You're not going outside. Yeah, he wanted out. Good night, Manny. Okay. You guys pray for Manny. He's got a thing coming up. I'm not going to get specific, but just pray for him. He's got a thing coming up. Oops. What is it? Tuesday, Manny? Right? Tuesday? Hey, Brooks. Concentration and energy. Okay. Good night, Jennifer. Do you want me to call you after and tell you? Or you want to do it another time? It's not anything major because I got to go to bed early tonight. Hey, Wit's back. Oh, I got to work tomorrow, but I can call you. I can call you in the morning while I get ready because that's 2 hours ahead for you. So, like 8 o'clock? Are you up then? Hey, John. Okay, then I'll call you in the morning when I'm getting ready. Hear that, Manny? I'm calling her in the morning. You took a day off. Why would you ever do that? I wish I had taken tomorrow off. I wish I would have thought ahead enough to take tomorrow off. Good night. But I just took a couple days off. You know, my vacation not too long ago. So, yeah, just a few things. Energy and concentration, huh, Mark? So let's see. You're going to have things to make you tired and things to distract you thrown your way. All the things to distract you. Somebody pointed out to me today that perhaps the fire and the tree were there to distract me from, well, exactly. And that's what God's going to get. You guys got to remember, when you pray for something from God, he's going to give you opportunities to have those things. So if you pray for peace in your life, he's going to give you chaos because he wants you to learn how to seek the peace in the midst of the chaos. So if you're going to pray for concentration, he's going to give you distractions or allow distractions so that you can focus on learning how to find concentration in it and focus, which that is precisely what he's been telling me lately too, Mark, is focus. I want your focus on me. Focus on me. So I've had all the things trying to get me to take my focus off of God because he wants me to focus on him. He's going to give you opportunities to practice exactly what you're praying for. So if you're praying for concentration, he's going to give you things to be distracted. If you're praying for peace, he's going to give you chaos. If you're praying for patience, he's going to give you reasons to be impatient. He's going to give you things in your life that are going to make you impatient. So that's why, you know, you be careful what you pray for. I mean, if you pray that you feel the love of Jesus towards people, he's going to give you opportunities for people that annoy you like nobody else, so that you can show the love of Jesus. Yeah? Because he knows how annoying we can be and he still loves us. Right? It's not usual that Loki wants all the attention. Hi. I guess he's decided he wants to be the star tonight. What? That's Loki. This was the one that we got found. Like he got found in my yard. And I gave him back to the people. Good night, Janny. I gave him back to the people who had him. And then I said, if he ends up, he was just the coolest cat ever. And what, it works for Todd, so you're going to do it now? And he was just the coolest cat ever. And so I said, okay, if I find him outside again, I'm not giving him back. Because they had already had 2 or 3 cats hit and they didn't take care of him. And I found him locked in a different neighbor's garage because he had gotten out. And he was filthy dirty. So he came and lived with us. Now he's 11, 12, something like that. He's my old man. Huh. He was always my son's cat. He loves my son. Yeah. Hey, Howie. Hey, what are you doing? I know. Yeah, he's a cool cat. Yeah, you never rub on me. You never, ever have rubbed on me before. Not once. I guess because he sees Todd doing it now, he's decided it works for him to get attention. You weirdo. They both sleep with me at night. I've got cats on either side of my head, on either side of my pillows. Right? Cats on either side of my pillows, and Willie right next to my stomach or on me. And then Cooper will lay at my feet. Sully doesn't sleep on the bed, thank goodness. He likes to sleep on the floor. I think it's cooler. He likes the hardwood. What? Are we going to lay on my lap? Apparently. Oh, okay. We're just going to do that thing. All right, so let me pray for us. That way, if anybody wants to go, they can. Otherwise, we can stay on and chat for a little bit. Hi. Oh, okay. We're doing nothing. Like burying our face in my hand. Weirdo. All right, Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this time together, Lord. Lord, I pray for those this week who are going through a rough month. Lord, we know that you will allow the enemy to touch us and to work on us in ways that will serve your purposes. And so, Father, I pray that even in those moments like Job, that you use it to refine us, to draw us closer to you, that we can wrestle and ask you all the questions. We can come to you with all of our misunderstandings and not understandings and doubts and fears, and that you will wait for us to settle down, and then you will answer us. In our hearts, you will answer us. In our circumstances, you will answer us and show us that you are the God that is, that you are who you say you are, that you do what you say you will do, and no word from you does fail, even if it's just because you say so. And so, Father, I just pray that this week, as we go about the rest of this weekend, this holiday, that you keep us safe, you keep us leaning into you, that you keep us protected, and you keep us looking towards you in all things. And I pray these things in the name of Jesus. Amen. What's up? You're being super loud. I know. Camper cats. I mean, they need to earn their keep for sure. This is my noisy one who will yell at me. He wants me to pet him while he eats. That's probably what he wants right now, is he wants me to go feed him again. He's got food. He just wants me to pet him while he eats. Hey, Anthony. Okay, where are you going now? Pick a spot, dude. You guys, I got to get ready for a wedding. I have a wedding coming up My son is getting married, the first of my children to get married. And I am very, very blessed that they are both saved. They are both seeking God wholeheartedly. They are both focused on God. It's kind of a beautiful relationship, actually. Let's put it this way. I pray that someday I have a relationship like what he has with his fiance. I want to find someone who loves me like my son loves her, who I can love the way she loves him, who we can seek God together the way that they are seeking God. It's really amazing to watch. It's really amazing to watch. Yeah. And I pray the same thing for both my other children too. Hey, hon. The cat is back there eating the dog food. Even though he has cat food, he's eating dog food. What a weirdo. Hey, Laura. I'm getting stuffed up. I think you're left, Mark. I think everybody else left, didn't they? Did Kathy leave, or is she still on here? What's new, Anthony? There's Erica. Yeah, it looked like you bounced out. Yeah, I can see how many. I just wasn't sure who. Because sometimes it'll show me and sometimes it won't. Like it'll show me the list and other times it won't. Whit's still on here. Chris is still on here. Jody's still on here. Tim, your lady went to bed. Tim knows because he's a newlywed now. Yeah, well, that's because I woke her up early this morning. Actually, I just texted her this morning, I think. Yesterday, I had her up with me when I got up. Man, I got cat hair all over me. I got dog hair all over me. Right? They're married, but they have to have their own. You have to like have some boundaries. Good night, Jody. We'll see you later. Like I said, next Monday we'll have a message for sure. It's just been one of those weeks where it just was not happening. It was not pulling together this week, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna fight God on this too. I fought him enough and learned my lesson quickly enough that I'm not fighting him on this too. I'm letting him do what he wants. In all things. Because it doesn't serve any purpose. Like, he'll let us do it. The only purpose it serves is to lean into him, but good night, Tim. It wasn't serving any purpose to fight him on forcing a message, and that's one thing I just won't fight him on. Oh, hey, Vic. I was shocked, you guys, that he had me give a message today at all. Like on video. Because he had me, I had to be at work early today. I had the whole tree thing. It's been a week. It's been a week of testing and trials. It has. There's a bug there. Why don't you go get the bug? Get it. Good night, Mark. What are you doing? Stop. Yeah, stop. Stop. Hey, stop. Chris, I wasn't leaving you out. I appreciate you too. I didn't call you out by name, but I appreciate you being on the phone with me too. I gotta go get Sully. I said Sully, not Loki. What's up, John? Yeah, Mark, you're like Philly. It's late for you. I mean, it feels late for me. 3 o'clock in the morning is early. Especially when I still gotta go work out. I didn't work out this morning because I had to be to work early. So I still gotta go do that. And I did do that last night after I got home. Because I got home late last night. I haven't ridden my horses in, like, it'll be 5 days before I get to ride tomorrow night. But I'll be able to ride for 4 days in a row, so that'll be nice. I'll be able to ride tomorrow and over the weekend. Chris, are you still on? I see you're still on. Yeah. Wit is still on. Erica, what's new with you? Barely. Are you sleeping? I mean, you are 2 hours ahead. 2, right? You're 2. Yeah, it's been a long day. I did a lot of, well, I did driving. Oh, good. That's okay. Yeah, I gotta go let Sully back in. I got one dog on the couch. I got a cat on me. I don't know where Cooper went. Cooper, are you right here? Oh, you're over there. Yeah. I got one dog straight ahead over there, and I got one dog outside. Pray for me, you guys. If you guys are going to pray for me, what I need you to pray for me is clarity, for one, and that God will remind me to act as he's called me to act. 6 a.m. phone calls. Would that be me? Would that be me? Do you mean me? Not today. I didn't call you at 6 a.m. today. Yeah, I need, in my coming situations, I'm going to need to really be focused on who God has called me to be. Like remembering that I am the daughter of a king and need to act accordingly. Not let my flesh control anything, whether that's getting overly emotional, whether that's holding on to bitterness or unforgiveness or snarky comments or frustration or anger, like at work. Just remembering that I am an ambassador. Yeah. Was it somebody good? Was it somebody good calling? I'm hearing noises, you guys. Like something might be in my walls. And I'm hoping I don't have squirrels in my attic. I think I have squirrels in my attic. Great. Well, my son's coming up this week, so great. That's going to be interesting. Yeah. I got to figure out where they got in from, too, if that's the case. Because I don't know of any spots where they could get in, and that means I'm going to have to find out where it is. Because we have a lot of ground squirrels. I mean, I can just set a trap. That's not a big deal. Technically, it could be the cats, because the cats can get up on the roof really easily. But, yeah. I found out from it is so much work. It is so much work. I never realized quite how much work until, like, I had to do the whole plumber and the generator and all the things this last month. And no, they don't. And that's the thing, is we have woodpeckers really bad too. So one could get in and have babies, for that matter. So I'm going to have to call somebody. If I can't get Austin in there or my brother, then I'm going to have to call somebody and set a trap. Yeah, because I definitely don't want squirrels up there. I've never had squirrels in my ceiling, so it is. It is. I mean, I have help. Don't get me wrong. I have help. My brother's always been really good about helping. My son is good about helping. You know, like this tree, my son's going to come up and take care of for me. But other than that, I have to find help. So, and as far as an exterminator, that's probably going to be just getting it done. I don't hear it now. Although the nice thing is I could probably lure it out on my own. Like, it's pretty easy to get up there and put something out to lure them out. Squirrels are dumb. Squirrels are dumb, and they will come out for anything. I watched a squirrel literally today walk right up to the front door at my work just to look inside of a plastic bag. Like, I probably could have picked it up. It was so close. They're dumb. I'm not a fan of squirrels anymore. I used to think they were cute. I don't think they're cute anymore. I think they're a pain. I think they're a rat with a bushy tail. Which I guess I'd rather it be squirrels than rats. There's that. Nice. AC units, you can almost always hose them off if they're down low too. Mine's up on my roof, so I can't do anything with mine. I have to get it serviced. Good night, Whit. Oh, hi. You're back. Yeah, I'm going to get off too. I know. Rats or squirrels? You would think with all the cats I have around here that I wouldn't have so many squirrels, but you guys are useless and you don't earn your keep. You're basically just mooches. Yeah. You're a mooch. You just eat me out of house and home, and you don't do anything to earn your keep around here. Nothing at all. You're useless. He looks at me like, do you have mice in your house? No, you do not. Doubt it's from you, though. I don't have lizards in my house either, so there's that. I did have a lizard in my window. It was, yeah, he's so, like, mistreated. I had a lizard stuck on the, between the window and the screen. and it was stuck in there because my window was closed. How it got in there, I think it somehow got up under the screen and in. And these two cats were going nuts, trying to scratch at the window to get to it. They just could not get anywhere near that lizard. And it was just a little baby lizard. I mean, it was so tiny, it was smaller than my finger, tail included. And every time that thing would move, they would just start clawing at the window trying to get to it. It was hilarious. It was hilarious watching them try. Hi. What's up? Ow. Ow. This is why I do lives, guys, just so that he can get his attention. Yeah, it's just so that he can have all the attention he wants, so that he can be a star. We're going to have to start. We don't need your booty in the front of the camera. Thank you. We need to like start taking donations for Todd's next spa trip, I think. Hi. Because I'm certainly not paying for that again. I say that, but I totally would. What? What are you doing? Pill? Hi. What was that about? You guys, we know who the star is here. Everybody comes for Todd. I need to change my screen name. Make it about Todd. I got hair all over my face now, dude. Yes. I know. You love me. Today at work, there was a cute little French bulldog wanted attention from me. It was a little therapy dog. You got cat hair in my nose ring. Yeah. My cats love when I have oysters. They like the oil out of it. Now that you mentioned tuna fish, that sounds really good, actually. I haven't eaten yet. Hi. Don't put your booty in front of the camera. Get out of here. Good night, Chris. Yeah, I'm going to head out too. I'll talk to you soon. You guys have a blessed week. I'm going to sign off so that I can actually get some food before bed. Because I do need to. Oh, and Sully's barking at me now. He's ready to come in. So I'm going to have to get up and let him in anyway. All right, guys. You guys have a good one. And we will be on Monday. We will have a message on Monday. I will have it ready before the end of this weekend, probably for both days. But I will be on Monday night, just like I always am. You guys have a great rest of your weekend, okay? All right. I love you guys.